I'm back. I needed some time with the Lord first. And you see my arm? Well, when I was getting my plasma done, right? Somehow I felt like a little sleepy or drowsy. I went to sleep. Or I just dozed off a little bit. It was like I was falling. Somebody was falling. And I woke up. And when I woke up, the tube that they put in your arm, it moved. Then once it moved, the machine was saying no flow, no flow. But like I say, that could have been the devil. And God let it go through. God might have said, let him be. You understand what I'm saying? The devil could be saying, go get a job. God says, let him be. You understand? So, let's talk about the voice of God and the voice of devil. How do you know the difference? Really, the only way you can tell the difference is faith in faith. What I mean is, you got to have faith inside your faith. You got to test your faith inside your faith. So, if you ask a question, right? Sometimes the devil gives you an answer too. See that cloud over my head? Like an angel, don't it? Like an angel, don't it? The head, the wings. See it? Okay. So, say hypothetically, you are about to go on a cruise. And your money's tight. But you plan this cruise for about maybe 6, 8 months, or even a year. Something came up that was, taking money from your savings for this cruise. Say hypothetically, your son or daughter needed sneakers, shoes, or whatever. Job was slow, so you got to take money to pay some bills. Right? Now, who's telling you to take money out your savings to pay bills? Is it God or is it the devil? Is the devil trying to stop you from going on that cruise? Or is God just testing you, see how much you want to go on a cruise? You have to test the faith inside your faith. For example, if I was going on a cruise and everything was happening in my life that had to take money out my savings account for the cruise, I would stop, think, pray, and say, God, if it's your will for me to go on this cruise, make a way. Make a way. Now, by him making a way, you may have $1 left in your savings account. Here you saying, I don't got enough. But he made a way. You see what I'm saying? Just because you got $1 left and you're saying, nah, I can't go on that cruise. Only got $1 left. So I come back, I'm broke. He made a way. He made a way for you to go. See what I'm saying? The devil would do everything to stop you from going. The devil took everything but $1 left out your account to make you feel like, you can't go. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to test it. Just say, hypothetically, back in the days, for a couple got married, they had to get a blood test. So what if God brought you this woman or man in your life and told you to marry? The devil sees what's going to happen in the next year or so. So he puts up a roadblock. He messed with your blood work. The lab crossed your blood work. So your blood work shows that you're incompatible to be married. So test come back and says, I can't allow you to get married. So you saying, well, God brought this person in my life. God might be saying, do you believe that I brought you? Do you honestly believe that I brought this person in your life? Do you honestly believe it? If you believe it, then why don't you believe that I brought her in your life? Why do you doubt me? So you fall back, get on your knees and pray and say, Lord, I thought that you brought this person for me to grow with, to be as one. And here it is, we can't get married. God might say, I did bring him in your life. I did bring him in your life. But I also want to see if you believe that I brought him in your life. Do you believe me? Because there's something that's going to happen in the near future that I need your faith. I need you to believe that I did. So times go on, you still say, well, okay, y'all still interacting with each other. And y'all saying, well, let's try again in 6 months. You say, okay, cool. So problems come around. He sees another woman and be like, wow, this and that. And you see another man and you forget all about that. God brought y'all two together. See what I'm saying? If God brought you together, you can best believe it's going to be problems. It's going to be problems before or problems after. But you have to test your faith inside your faith. And how you test your faith inside your faith is you pray. You got to pray. Okay? Let's talk about business. Let's say the Lord grants you. He said, I'm going to grant you a business. Right? Now, he said he's going to grant you a business, but the whole time, you're homeless. You're homeless. You have no direction, no help, no nothing. But you say, Lord, I thought you were going to grant me a business. He said, I am going to grant you a business. You don't believe it? Do you doubt me? Do you doubt that I am who I am? So your faith stops working Because now the devil put doubt. You eating of the tree. And God is saying, okay, you don't believe in me. I'm going to let you suffer a little bit to show you that I am who I am. So now you go with the devil route. You go with your own eyes. You go what you can see. You go by what you can do. We all do this. So you're homeless. You got a peer support telling you, go get a job. Here's a job at McDonald's. So you go. You work at McDonald's for maybe maybe a year. You only get a dime raise. And here it is, inflation is growing. And you are writing to your senators, you're writing to the mayor, you're saying the wages need to be increased. You know, they don't care about us. The white man don't care about us. This is you. White man don't care about us. Look, everything is high. Bread is high. Food is high. Right? All the whole time, God says, I'm going to grant you a business. But you don't believe in me. So now you go your own route. It's hard. It's hard to travel that road without God. So God fixed everyone else. They got good jobs. They buying houses. You still at McDonald's. You only got a 10-cent raise. You can't afford rent. See how God operates? See how he operates? But the whole time, you're blaming everyone else. You're blaming the people that you work with. You blaming the mayor. You blaming the governor. You blaming the president. Whole time, God says, you're not going to do it your way. You can't do it without me. You see what I'm saying? You have to, hold on, put my mask on, going inside Subway. We still can talk, but hold on. How you doing, brother? Can I get a foot long of Italian urban cheese bread, oven roasted chicken? And you know, you're living, you can't afford rent, and you writing here, you're going to, you're writing a petition. You get the people in the neighborhood to sign a petition saying let's raise our wages and all this. You know, people in the community saying you're doing a good job. You know, you need to be the mayor or the governor. You're doing a good job, right? So God's still sitting in the back seat saying, okay, you still trying to do it your way, huh? Here it comes, the fuel prices jumps up 50 cents more a gallon. Toasted, please. No cheese. Fuel prices goes up, right? Now you really complaining, saying, look, you know, you got your billboard up. You're walking in front of the White House. You're saying, we need wage increase. We need a wage increase. You see what I'm saying? And the whole time, God done told you what he's going to do for you. But you don't believe. No cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, spinach, roasted peppers, black olives, salt, pepper, oil, vinegar, mayo, mayonnaise, and sweet onion. Yep. So, okay, get back on it. So now you're protesting. You got your flag billboard up. You're walking around, and you get and the president, he sees that you got all these likes on YouTube, so he invites you into the White House, and you're saying that we need a wage increase. We are not surviving. We can't survive off what you're paying us, right? Hold on.
Thanks, sir.
No, that's it, sir. Right?
680.
So you are in the White House. President Biden has brought you in. You got 1 million likes on social media and YouTube. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Right? So the president brought you in and said, what do you think that we should do? And you saying that we should raise the wages. People in our community can't afford health care. They can't afford this. They can't afford that. Right? So God still is in the back. God's still in the background. So I'll let you do it your way. Go ahead. So you think the president going to help you, right? Okay. So the president says, okay, I'll sign a new bill to raise the wages. Right? He's still letting you do it your way. Now, all of a sudden, right, you got your wages. Here comes COVID-19, 2020. No work. No nothing. I told you. You can't do nothing without me. So now your wages doesn't matter because nobody getting no wages. Nobody's getting nothing. Now you got to depend on him. See what I'm saying? See how he works? Because you didn't believe, you didn't test the faith inside the faith. If he promised you something, he's going to give it to you. But you got to believe. So now you can't pay rent. You're the same predicament before. Can't pay rent. Can't afford the gas. You can't afford utility bills. Can't afford anything. You're back in the same predicament as you was before. But you went to the president saying you need more money. God says, okay, I'll take the money. I'll take the money. He's still in the same boat. Now, do you see? So you have to test the faith inside the faith. So we have to fall back, including me. You got to fall back sometimes. If God says, I'm going to give you a good wife. Okay? But you insist on, you got lust. You want to have sex. So you go find anyone you want. But that ain't the one God has for you. So God lets you play on. Here you got child support you got to pay. You lose your job. She going to the social service complaining that you're a deadbeat dad, you this, you that. Because that's not the woman he gave to you. You see what I'm saying? If he promised you, you got to fall back, go inside the closet or somewhere that no one's around, And you got to talk to him. Lord, you promised me. You promised me better. You said you was going to give me a business. You said you're going to give me a good wife. In time, he will give you a vision. That vision sometimes will get cloudy because the devil wants it to get cloudy. Okay? He wants it to get cloudy. So you have doubt. If you have doubt, that means you don't have faith. You got to work the faith. Faith without works is dead. You got to work it. You understand? Fall back, pray, and ask God, I'm lost. I believe in you. I know who you are. I know what you can do. I'm going to thank you for what you can do, and I'm going to thank you for what you're not going to do. But I ask you to lead me. Lead me to the path where you want me to be. I'm human. I don't know which way to go. Man will turn me around from your direction. Help me. Okay? In doing so, he might take the people that's close to you out your life. Because they're going to give you the advice of not the correct advice. Okay? They might be doing good fleshly. They're doing good humanly. But they're not doing good with God. Everybody that's in the world, what do you call them people? Righteous speakers. Yeah, they got like 1 million followers. You know. Yeah, in the world, they're doing good things. But to God, God's saying, man, who are you? Who are you? You ain't doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So when you think you're doing good, you might be doing a terrible thing in God's eyes. You always have to check about what you're doing. You got to check. Even I got to check. That's why some people talk to me. It's the opposite of what God says. When they start talking the opposite, then I know it was God talking to me. So you got to test it. You got to test it. God says, trust no man or woman, but have confidence in him. If God told you something, God's not going to send you someone that's going to change what he said. So if God promised you a business and someone comes to you saying, I got a job for you, then you know it wasn't the devil talking to you, it was God. They only see what they can see. They can't hear what you hear. They're not in the same room with you when God talks to you. You understand? So if a person this is what I do. If I see a person, right, that's going through something, first thing I do, I ask God, what you want me to do? It's a homeless person right there. Do you want me to give them money? You want me to bypass them? What you want me to do? Either God going to say, give them nothing. Give them nothing. Move on. Sometimes he will say, buy them food. Sometimes he will say, stick your nose up, walk past them. He or she doesn't know me. You're going to be hindering them. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to act before I do anything. Because what I think is good is bad. And what I think is bad is good. I don't know nothing. So remember that. And so you out here saying, people in D.C. calling the mayor, Say we need to raise wages. We need to have $16 an hour. You getting on social media, writing a petition, people signing it. God's falling back. Here it was, 2020. Here comes COVID-19. You still didn't get no money. You still need them. See what I'm saying? See how he operates? He's a good God. Now, if I had to, that's why when I see homeless, right? Oh, let me go back. When I see homeless, right? People say, why don't you give back to the homeless? I can't do nothing without God. Because it may not be money that they need. They might just need God. God has all the money that they need. But they keep fighting them. Keep fighting them. God said, I'm going to get you a good job. You go to McDonald's. You steal. You rob. You don't believe. So now he made you homeless. It's not the money. You don't believe. You understand what I'm saying? You don't believe. So you always have to test your faith inside your faith. You have to show God that you're willing to walk with him. You got to come outside. You got to walk with him. You got to talk with him. Even though he knows what you're going to do, you tell him what you want to do. And ask him, what I want to do, is it in line with you? If it is, help me. If my allergies is in line with you, let me sneeze. If my allergies is not in line with you, wipe my nose. If my eyes watering from allergy is in line with you, make me cry. If it's not in line with you, wipe my eyes. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you got to talk to him. You got to tell him. You got to walk and talk with him. If homeless is what you want me to be, to get to help people that's homeless, show me homelessness. Show me their problems. Show me their doubts. And he will. If money is what you need, right? You say, God, I just don't want a job. I want the job that you have for me. I don't want to work at McDonald's. I want to work for you. Help me with my resume. He will. Best believe he will. You have to walk and talk with him. You got to get out that house in a quiet place and tell him all about what you want to do. Don't tell him like you're the boss. Just tell him, I got a plan. This is my plan. My plan is my plan is to go to fix my resume and go get a job. God might say, okay, let me bring you a job. Just stay focused. Do what you got to do naturally, and let me do what I got to do spiritually. You know, you pretend already that I gave you the job. You know, change the way you dress. You know, change the way you talk. Believe that the job is already yours. And let me do my part. Okay? It may take a month, it may take a month and a half. But let me do my part. I gotta fix what's ahead of you first, so I can bring you in. Okay? So now you're home. You're starting to see clothes you can't afford. You're seeing business suits. You're seeing office type where that you want because you want an office job. You don't have the money, right? Here it is. You might go to church, or you might, you know what? This do happen. You may be walking. Here comes a Jay-Z, or here comes a 50 Cent. Here comes a Elon Musk. Somehow, their limo breaks down right there in front of you. It was designed for it to happen right in front of you. So now they're in their car. They having a conversation. Somebody in the car just look out the window and see you. And they said, man, you know what? I remember when I used to walk. Remember that, Elon? Remember you used to walk down there on California streets? You remember you used to tell people that you're going to make a vehicle? Elon be like, yeah, I remember that. Why they went down and said, excuse me, brother, where is so-and-so at? And you said, well, it's over there. Well, Elon says, thank you. He might just give you enough for a suit. God will put people in place, right in your spot to help you. I'm telling you, it happens. I didn't have food to eat. God put people in front of me to give me $20. God works like that. If he tell you something, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not going to say it's going to happen right there when you want it to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. But he has to open up doors. He has to close some doors for you to get there. He's working on your resume. He's sitting there and he's typing up your resume. That's what he does. He's a good God. He's an awesome God. But you got to believe. So every time you see a homeless person, it may not be the money that they need or what they asking for. What they're asking for may not be what they need to get out of being homeless. Maybe God promised them something, and they think that they can do it their own way. I tried. Let me tell you a true story. I was with J.P. Hunt. It was me and Tony Davis. And this is when I knew God was good. I think it was 2005, around September, October. Google it. We had rain. It rained for about maybe 2 weeks. I was in West Virginia. I was coming back to the terminal in East Brunswick. I was in West Virginia coming down Interstate 70 or 77. That's the first time. I didn't know Virginia had a tunnel through the mountain. Because, driving cars, well, like going down Interstate 77 for. So I had to go through the tunnel. Well, I already knew. See, before I go that, but see, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was an operator, right? I was just starting out. On rainy days, I would go into the shop, pick up the Caterpillar book, and read about how machines operate. I used to go right. We used to have a shop. We have a second floor and a bottom floor in the shop. I will go right in there when was nothing going on. I didn't have to change oil or anything on the machine, grease or anything. I pick up that book and I learned. So I used to look at it as when it rains, God is letting me is teaching me. He letting me read, let me understand what's going on. I knew everything about the grader. I knew everything. I knew how the grader operate. You know, my father taught me the basics, but I wanted to know what Caterpillar says. So I read. Now, back to that. When I was with J.B. Hunt, I was coming down Interstate 77. I never forget it. I had me a Freightliner, you call it Cascadia, whatever you call that truck. But there was a guy on the Volvo. He was like on my bumper. You know, J.B. Hunt only goes about maybe 62, 60, no more than 67. You know, I'm coming down, coming up the mountains, everybody passing me. This Volvo 780 passed me. So I get to the top of the mountain, right? No, I get to the top of the mountain. That's when the Volvo passed me. I'm coming down the mountain. I had a 13 speed. I went down to 10th. I was in red line. But I was going like 75 miles per hour. I was in red line. I would press the brake and slow down. This Volvo zoom past me. Well, on Interstate 77, I know there's a Pilot in Columbus. It used to be a Pilot, or a Pilot's still there. Well, when I get halfway down the mountain, that same truck that passed me flipped over. So when I was in the truck, I emailed my wife and daughter. I told them I'm in West Virginia, and I'm coming back to East Brunswick. When I got back to East Brunswick, I went to the Verizon store. Verizon store in East Brunswick used to have laptops that was online. So I emailed my wife and say, you know, I'm about to go look at cars. True story. I say, you know, I'm going to the Honda. It was a Honda dealer on Route 1 and 9. Forgot the name of it. Open Road Honda. Honda Acura. So I left the truck parked, and I'm walking down 18 to 1. I'm walking. I get to the bridge on Route 1. Right? I'm crossing the bridge, and there's on the other side of the bridge, you can see the Honda dealership. As I'm crossing the bridge, God came to me. Do you believe in me? Yeah, I believe in you. Then why are you going to Honda? I'm going to get me a car. I want to go home. You know, when I get back to my truck, I'm going to save my money. See, my thing was, when I get in that truck, I was going to send 80% of my check home. 80%. I didn't have to worry about no motel. I didn't have to worry about paying no tolls. That was my apartment. So 80% of that was going home. I keep 20% for me eating. That's it. That was it. That was my apartment. I had Febreze, everything. My blanket, I didn't make the laundry every week, so I kept Febreze. I didn't open the windows up for the flies to get in. Nothing. Only time I open my windows is when I'm driving. So I get to the Honda dealer. I think I posted that on Facebook or something. 2005. So I'm in a Honda. It was this black RLX, I believe. I said, man, this is a sharp car. So the salesperson was talking to me, saying, yeah. So I said, who you work for? I work for J.B. Hunt. Over there in East Brunswick? Yeah, he said, well, I can put you in this today. I said, okay. So God came to me again. Do you believe in me? And I'm like, yeah, I can believe in you. I thank you. That's why I'm here. So God revealed this to me. Why would you want yourself a Honda Accord or any Honda? Because it got working lights, headlights work, the wipers work. You want it because you can see, because you can drive it. Well, why don't you get yourself a Mercedes? Mercedes doesn't have no working lights, doesn't have no doesn't have no wipers, can't defrost. You gotta rely on me. You need me now. So why don't you get yourself a Mercedes that's half broken down, brand new, and the things don't work? You need me. You get the Honda, it's because you think you don't need me. Now you get the Honda, I gotta break it down. I gotta make Honda the worst car. Because now you're trying to do things your way. Now you're gonna have engine problems. Now you're gonna have mechanical problems. You're gonna have all this wrong with your car. Because you don't want to see me. You want to see what you can do. So somehow we had a conversation. I walked out and I was walking the Ray Cantina Mercedes. It was Ray Cantina Mercedes Porsche. You know, I'm just getting out the truck. Been on the road, 14, 15 days. So I'm exercising. I get to see this Mercedes in the middle of the showroom. And it was open. I got inside. I sat down. And I said, Lord, I can't afford this. This thing's 100 grand. I can't afford it, God. I can't. On trucker salary, I can't afford this. So somehow the car either the SOS or something came on. It came on and says, yes, you can. Something came on. The car, somebody in that car has a computer or something and it says, yes, you can. I jumped out the car, closed the car. Sales lady come on and said, you want it? Take it home. I looked at her first like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Because the car is telling me I can, and here you come saying I can take it home. Take it home right now. Then Ray Cantina was there and said, you need help, any one of you ladies can help you. The owner was there. Do you hear me? The owner of the Ray Cantina was there that day and said, any one of these ladies can help you. And he told them, take care of him. That's when I left out that car, and I even emailed my wife and said, you won't believe it. I went to the Honda trying to make a deal to get in a Honda car so I can, come see y'all. Because I won't be here. I only gonna be here for like 2 days. But somehow that Mercedes, I don't know if it was God or what, but it just, something don't sound right. It's like everything was made for me to take that Mercedes home. And I couldn't afford it. I think it was like 105 grand, 150 grand. I couldn't afford it. But it was like I could have took that car home. I could have took that car home. But the Honda was giving me like, record check, this and that, because I was trying to do it my way. God was stopping me from doing it my way. And he was telling me, faith is things that you cannot grasp at a certain time. You understand? Faith is believing in something supernatural. Supernatural. I used to, when I got the truck, I would catch the train to New York City. I used to go to Manhattan Motors, see the Rolls Royce, see the Bugatti. First time I ever see the Bugatti. And when I went there, right, I never forget this one either. I was going to the car show or something. But I don't know if it was the owner or the head sales manager. He said, "You don't want a Bugatti. You don't want that." He took me to Porsche. He said, "Take the Porsche. The Porsche is more civilized. It's more civilized. You'll have a better response with the Porsche." So I'm looking at the Porsche, seeing a 911. I don't know if they had panorama at the time. I know I seen a 911. So I was open for Porsche. I always was in German cars. Always. Then, years went by. I had my business on top of Ideal Diner. If you look at, what's her name? She got the face products. Her and her husband just got out of jail. He threw his clothes away. That was my office. Right on top of that. It was like he was talking to me and he said, "You never have to go to jail again." Right up there was my office. They got out of a Bentley Bottega, the Jeep. Yep. I forget her name. But she's always dancing, selling her skin products. And I think she's on Atlanta Housewives. Her and her husband, when they got outside that Bentley, that was my office. I had an office there. And I called my brother. I don't know if he called me or if I called him. But my brother said, "You are coming at me." He said, "You're coming at me. Make sure all your cars are German." All your cars are German. Right? Now, my brother came to me. Lord and behold, years after that, my mother came to me. My mother gave me the keys to a 5 Series BMW. Said, "Here, take the BMW." So what I'm trying to tell you is, the way that you seem righteous, or the way that you want to go, or the way that seems good to man, it's not good to God. You have to test your faith. You got to test that faith. Now, just say hypothetically, let's go back to the job with, you're looking for a job, and say we live in Washington, D.C. Now, on the news, they said average rent is like 2,000. Every place that I looked was 3 and better. So maybe they including the low income housing and all that too. I'm talking about a decent place where you get a rooftop pool, a gym inside the place. Talking about $3,000 easily. So say I go out here, I go see Mayor Bowser. She's a beautiful woman. I'm gonna tell you why after I tell you this. She's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. I would do anything I could for DC because DC did a lot for me. Say Mayor Bowser says, I got a job for you working for the city. It pays $75,000 a year. Right? Now, God says, I got a business for you. So I go to Mayor Bowser, I take the job, I go get a nice apartment, I got a rooftop, I go get a nice car. Here it is, the building burned down. Everything I had worked for, burned, gone. My car gets stolen, or my car get wrecked, gone. Insurance doesn't pay for the car fully. And I still got to pay the remaining balance of the car. Can't get another car. Now I got to find a place to stay. Now you see how God operates? Because if he has something for you, if he promised you something, he's going to give it to you. Now, let me tell you about the goodness of DC. When I was in Catholic Charities in Jersey. I was staying in Freehold. And I got there maybe January of 2014, something like that. So I was there, and in March, April 1st, we had to be out because we were staying in churches, staying in church. It's something like in Richmond City, where if you're homeless, you stay in different churches, Catholic churches. Okay. So I was sending my resume out. I sent my resume out to Atlanta. I sent my resume out to Charlotte. I sent my resume out to Charlotte, to Hildreth. I called Hildreth and said, Hildreth Moving Solutions. I know they got one in Richmond and they got one in Charlotte. I mean, either Charlotte or Atlanta. I might got it mixed up. I called Hildreth. I know I called Hildreth. After I talked to Hildreth, I called, was it Ace? That's what it was. Hildreth is in Charlotte, and Ace Moving Systems is in Atlanta. And Ace Moving Systems is in Atlanta. So I was going to Atlanta first. I called homeless shelters in Atlanta. It was in Decatur. So I told Catholic Charities I want to go to Atlanta. I priced the ticket, right? I got enough money for the ticket and some spending money. Lord behold, I didn't know you had to buy the ticket online for that price. So my heart was going back to Atlanta. I took the train from Freehold to Atlantic City to make my trip closer. Then I was going to get on a Greyhound bus and go to Atlanta. Excuse me? So I get to Atlantic City. You know, first time I think I, no, that ain't the first time. That was the first time I walked on a boardwalk in Atlantic City. And the first time I've been to Atlantic City. So I went to the bus station to get a ticket. Said I want a one-way to Atlanta. The prices doubled. I didn't have enough money to go to Atlanta. So I said, okay, let's go to Charlotte. Charlotte was like $5 or $10 cheaper. I couldn't go to Charlotte. So I said, all right. I said, okay, I go to Victory Van Lines. Victory Van Lines used to be in Gettysburg. So I said, you know, I'll go to Washington, D.C. I'll find me a shelter, and I'll go to Victory. So I took the bus. I got on Washington, D.C. I'm at MLK Library. And the lady said, well, there's a homeless bus that comes there. It picks you up and takes you to the shelter. I said, okay. So I seen the bus and I said, excuse me, is this the bus take you to the shelter? She said, yeah. So I get to New York Avenue. I'm saying, oh, I'm seeing this alleyway. I'm like, oh, what's this? I'm saying to myself, I'm too good for this. So I didn't go to New York Avenue. They took me to D Street or some other shelter. I went inside there. I said, man, what is this? What is this? I'm just trying to get me a place to stay just till I get my first paycheck. Trying to do things my way. And the whole time, the guy said, I'm going to get you a business. So, the next day I went to New York Avenue. I seen more people die in New York Avenue for OD than my whole time in Jersey. In my whole life. I seen more deaths in New York Avenue than my whole entire life. Death was like every day is going to happen. Somebody gets stabbed, somebody overdose, it was going to happen. It was like cops need to just stay there. You need to have a cop car there and an ambulance and a meat wagon there every day because death was coming. That's how it was. So I'm in New York Avenue for 18 months or better. So I seen this program, worker empowerment, something with offenders. The re-entry to offenders. So I was like, okay. I said to myself, Mayor Bowser, I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna go through your program. So I went through the procedure, I went through the program, and Lord behold, she opened the door. I went to Total Family Care. I had to go through the program. I went to Total Family Care. I was trying to go, since I had an opening, I was trying to go for DC government. But I went to Total Family Care. Peer support place. I went there. I went there mostly for me. She's a beautiful woman. DC is a beautiful place. If you can't make it in DC, you can't make it nowhere. The only reason I left DC, because she was going to make it easy for me. See, I don't want easy. I want what God wants. I don't want free rent. I want what God wants. If I don't get what God wants, He's going to make my life miserable. You understand? He'll make my life miserable. So I was saying, I need enough money for me to get a place in Northwest. I need that. If I'm going to stay here, I got to have a job that's going to pay me for Northwest. To go to Northwest, to be from the White House down. That's where I need to be. That's where I know if I'm going through problems, I know right there, Obama's right there, so I can say, Obama, when God comes, he's coming for you. He's coming for you. Because I done did everything possible. I'm following his will. So if I'm here and I got a nice place, that means when that tornado comes, it's going to pick up a truck and it's going to fall on you. So I didn't get it. I got work though. I got jobs. I had enough to sustain life in DC. She helped me. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Mayor Bowser. So I thank her for that. But God, once again, I can't do things my way. I gotta follow God. If I go out here and go get a job, that's why the buses won't pick me up. God may mess up Metro. He may cause them to have an accident. He might cause a bus driver. He might cause a train to derail. He'll do anything. It might kill people that's on the bus or on the train, but I will live. He will do that because he wants the glory. He wants the glory. Every time I get a job, I go to raking because I file what I'm doing for my own benefits. Not that I'm trying to be conceited or take over a position. I want on record what's going on. I don't have a union. I don't have no one that I can go to. So I got to make my own records. I got to keep my own logs. And that's what I do. Excuse me. So that's what I did. And the whole time, I'm keeping logs, trying to say, to keep my job. And here's God saying, you trying to do things your way. Go to that truck. Go to that truck. You see what I'm saying? You have to take your faith. If you ask God for something, it's not going to be easy. Sometimes to get it may be easy, but to keep it going to be hard. And sometimes to get it may be hard, and to keep it is easy. But whatever it is, when you ask God for something, it comes with problems. When I mean problems, it comes with humanly problems. It comes with hate. It comes with envy. It comes with doubt. It comes with hopelessness. It comes with faithless, unfaithful. It comes with all that. Because it's the devil's job to not give it to you. And he will use someone close to you to tell you the opposite, in which they see naturally. Hypothetically, you homeless, your best friend could say, oh, the company I'm working for is hiring. They hiring. Or he go a job, they hiring. He sees naturally. He thinks that he's doing good. Here it is, you have people in the community saying, go get a job. They don't see God. They can't hear God. Now, if God was to come wipe their house out and says, let him be, then they can hear him. You have to, when God promised you something, people close to you, you got to protect them. You got to protect them. Because God is a very jealous God. If someone is telling you something and you following them, you can best believe that relationship that you have is going to end. I'm telling you now, that relationship is going to end. Either it might end through death, it might end through conniving, jealousy, envy. You can bring a woman a woman that you like. That woman can sleep with your best friend or do anything that's going to entice your best friend, and y'all two not friends no more. It wasn't the woman. It was God. Because you are listening to someone other than God. So your closest friend, that's why I said, once you get a relationship with God, you lucky to have one of your old friends. Because your old friends have a persuasive mindset that you grew up with, and you have some type of trust. And the Bible says trust no one. So God got to separate you from your old friends. Because he wants you to trust him, not them. Understand? So, when you are going through something, it's 80% of the times what you ask for. But you can't see it. And every time you get upset, the devil smiles. Then the devil comes to you as a friend. Especially a woman that's been abused in a relationship, she has a spirit. She has a spirit of a loving spirit. So here comes the devil in flesh, a human being, a man. He takes advantage of her. He tells her, I wouldn't do that to you. Baby, I love you. He takes advantage of her. And the whole time, God probably promised her something, but she sees lust. She sees differently. You understand? She don't see what God sees. She goes after what she can feel. But now today, a lot of women is more have a man attitude. Now the man is going through what a woman go through. So now men are dating women, and the women are taking advantage of the men. So you have to put your trust in God. If he promised you something, he will deliver. I don't know when, but he will deliver. Trust me, he will deliver. And if you try to go your own route, you're going to have problems. Even President Biden, if he try to do things his way, he's going to have problems. That's just how he operates. You can't have nothing that's going to interfere with him and you. He won't give you anything that's going to interfere with your relationship with him. Believe that. So be blessed, be thankful, and it's always not money what a homeless person needs. Remember that. It may be they just need to submit to God. And that's the truth. All right, so my battery is going dead. That's a nice helicopter. That's a nice helicopter. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? There you go. Thank you. So now you know how it is. You can't fight God. You can't fight him. All right? You cannot fight him. Everybody that's in your circle may mean good, but the devil is in them too. They might not know it. The only way you can test the spirit, if God talks to you, is by you going out, praying, and let the people close to you or someone that doesn't know you can give you a better response with God than the person who's close to you. A person close to you can have the devil in them and not know it. They will talk about you, saying, "Man, I don't know what's going on with this person, man. I don't know what's going on with Bill. Or, Bill, he ain't doing nothing for himself. I tried to give him a job, and I don't know, man. I'm fed up with him." And here comes a stranger that doesn't know you and says, "Stop fighting God. Stop fighting him. Just submit. It's a purpose why you're here. It's a purpose why I'm standing right here in front of you. It's a purpose. God can't talk to you if you got family around. God can't talk to you if you got someone close to you around. That's why it's best to have someone who God puts in your life around you. God put me here. He puts me here. God will put your woman in your life. That woman can hear God speaks to you. She can hear. Anybody that God puts in your life can hear God speak. People that you choose to be around can't hear God. And this is the God's honest truth. If you don't believe nothing else, believe this. You can make family. You can never make a friend. Only God can bring you a friend. You can make family, but only God can make a friend. Remember that. You find yourself a friend, God brought him. I ain't talking about a childhood friend. I'm talking about adult friend. When you stop drinking milk, you become a man or a woman, only God can bring you a friend. You can go out here and make a baby. Yeah. You can make a baby all day long. But a friend, only God can bring you a friend. And a friend is priceless. Because a friend is doing the same thing you're doing. Trying to pursue what God has for them. All right, so I'm about to head in. My battery about to go dead. I talk to you everything that God brought to me. He brought to me about that military guy. He brought to me about Minneapolis. He brought to me business. He brought to me people that I don't believe, even me. He's talking to me too. I'm not just saying about you. To have hopelessness and doubtful spirits. You got to work your faith. You see how I'm doing emails, doing business, how I'm leaving there, going straight home and do business? That's working faith. That's working it. You got to work that faith. God honors your faith. Because faith, when you do faith in the natural, that gives motivation for him to show people in the natural that he's real. It shows that he's real. So when you walk by faith, it's energy for him to show other people that he's real. You understand? So work it. Work that faith. Be employed by God. Don't let no one tell you anything different than what God tells you. God will put people in your life that will give you words of wisdom and encouragement. All right? So my battery's about to go dead. So I'll talk to you later. I love y'all. And be easy. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see if God give me a voice to speak to you about. Bye.